Hello and welcome to this. Hello and welcome to the space between ideas. I'm Blaine Gates. Welcome back. Yeah, it's been a couple days. Actually, um, maybe you thought I was on vacation like last time, but actually it's not true. Oh, what's going on here? Anyways, it's fine. Okay. Okay. Now the thing is that we kind of had a problem. We had an issue. What was the issue? Let's take a look at the whole full screen. See if we can't get to the bottom of this. Good. I think I'm showing the whole full screen. So let's jump into the windsurf. Using windsurf, I don't know if you remember, I don't know, 350 credits at least. Now we're down to 257 credits. We still have way too many credits. Like I'm only halfway through my credits. There's 5 days left. Somehow I got to use 25 credits a day for the next 5 days to use all my credits, which is fine. It's fine. We can do that. So we're just going to keep pushing and see how far we can get. Now, as far as Cloudflare, so maybe you guys know that basically what we were doing was we were using Windsurf. Well, let's just jump back into the Notion page. I haven't looked at this Notion page for quite a while. Basically, what happens with Notion is we kind of a few things. We have a marketing department page. We got a product development page. We got a point of sale page. And then inside of these pages, we have some to-do lists. Oh no. I just really hope that my computer I think there's something wrong with the wire, actually. Hopefully it's not the ports. I would rather it be a wire than a port. Yeah, it's probably the wire. Okay. Hopefully we'll be okay for a little bit. I just had the ports replaced, so it shouldn't be the ports. All right. So where were we? Okay. Looks like I'm not sharing my whole screen. I don't know why we stopped sharing the screen. All right, let's jump back into where's our Notion page? Why did our Notion page go? It was here. All right, so here we go. So we got our three different departments, and then what I did was I used those departments mainly. It's because inside of these departments we have calibration documents. That's the main thing. So we do have like some Kanban stuff, which is fine. We have some project stuff, which is fine. Uh, we have the business growth engine, which shows like what are we building right now in our marketing department. But I think mainly it's the calibration doc. Why do I say that? Because we have all this to-do list stuff, and honestly, like I'm just gonna erase it right now. Why? Because the thing is that it's too difficult to use. It's well, I wouldn't say it's like too difficult. I would just say clearly that like directly that I'm not using it. And if I'm not using it, then what's the point in having it in here? So what am I actually let's get it down to what are we actually using? All right, so what are we actually using? Okay, so department vision, create a clear path that leads a curious manager from their first click to their completed objective. Okay, maybe, I mean, it's fine for department vision. Vortex, that's the name of the game, the process of turning a stranger into an engaged user. That's not actually the definition of vortex. That is a inbound marketing cycle or sales funnel. But okay, fine. And we're trying to personify this idea of vortex. Um, the product roadmap, it's like okay, but it's not necessarily top of mind right now. Logos, creative, develop, brand, Bible, calibration docs. So we'll just put it at the bottom. In fact, the calibration docs, we're using the calibration docs is probably the first thing is you got to have your calibration doc. And then number two is the department vision. And then we got our business growth engine. All right. So in order for us to have a business growth engine, it starts with our blog. So we got to write these blog articles. and that means the Vortex is responsible for writing blog articles. And then we're going to make some YouTube videos. Then we're going to make some short videos. Then we're going to make a lead magnet page, and that's going to take us to our online course. You should say online course. Are you showing the right thing? Yeah, we're showing the right thing. Good. All right, so I'm just going to change this now because we've gotten far enough along the way that this is now like a reality. Huh. All right. Okay, I can't switch it here either. Well, we'll just leave it right now. I don't really care. Okay, let's jump back. So now what's the whole point? The whole point of this, what we're talking about here, the business growth engine and Vortex, it means that Vortex has some responsibilities. Vortex needs to write the blog articles, and also Vortex needs to write the series, the email series. I'm talking about the email marketing series for the lead magnet. Now, what does this look like in reality? Let's look into our website. Now, why did I call this video Cloudflare? What I did was I got the Windsurf to launch the website, like to push it to GitHub, and then also to connect GitHub to Cloudflare. So now we can actually see our website here in Cloudflare, which is kind of crazy. So now, as you can see, there's the homepage with it's just a static homepage. We need to get some like real users. We don't have real users right now, but there is this section here, which is the blog page. This is not connected to the blog page, which is fine. Anyway, so none of this is connected to the internet. Now, Journey. So Journey is our actual tool. This is the thing that we're trying to get people to use. And then we have our pricing page, and this is right now. It's not a real pricing page. It's just a page that's like stuck. It's just a placeholder. And then we got this thing we call the blog. Now, I don't know what's going on with this blog. So we literally spent the last 5 days working on this blog. Why? Because the thing is that we need to be able to upload new blog articles, and we don't want like every single time that we create a new blog article for us to have to change the code inside of the website. And so we had a chat with Windsurf and with Google Gemini, and they decided on something, and I have no idea really what they did. But basically, we got this thing called the decap CMS admin. All right, so I don't even really know how it works. I haven't tried it yet, but I guess we have a blog, and then now, and then we have some text, and then we have more text. Now, my assumption is, and we can choose an image. Image is found. Let's just throw a picture of Blaine Blaps. The heck? Download, upload. Hey, it actually does it. Desktop, documents, downloads. All right, so we'll just put this in here. And then we're going to upload that, choose the selected. Good. Published. What is this? Excerpt body. Now I'm just going to go over here. I'll just take all this text, copy it, paste. This is actually the first time I'm testing this, so I don't know what's going to happen. All right, so it looks like what? Oops, cancel. Not really sure what this is. All right, let's push publish. See what happens. Publish now, publish and create new, publish, duplicate, publish now. Entry saved. Okay. Now what happens? So now we have a blog in our list of blogs. Now my assumption is that if I refresh this page, yes, so it didn't work. I thought it's supposed to. upload it to the blog, right? That's like the whole point, was that after we write the blog, then it publishes it to the page, which I don't know what to do. In progress. What is this? Why does it say in progress? Success. Your site was deployed. That's right now. It deployed something. Now, if we look at it, it just deployed a few seconds ago. So it just redeployed our website, which means that if we go here and then we refresh the page, yeah, we have a blog article. Oh my goodness. Now it looks like garbage, but see how it works? There you go. That's how it works. Amazing. Uh, text, what text? It did it. It actually works. So that's fantastic news. So that means that the by using this page, I can create new blog articles. Now, also, there's a thing that when I log into that page using GitHub, that literally took like 3 days, like to be able to log into that page. So you see, it's like not working again. It's annoying because it was working, as you saw. It was just working. This is what it did like yesterday. It did this over and over and over and over. It just drove me absolutely mad. Eventually, we had to get all the way down to this console issue. I don't even know what to do now. It's just so crazy. All right, so that's the blog issue. I need to keep working on this blog issue. I'm not going to do it in front of you as I have been in the past videos, because it's not really enjoyable. Like um the last little bit with windsurf, I've been doing something really weird, because I've kind of like I've been going back and forth between GPT-5 and Claude Sonnet 4. Now, right now I was just telling you about, like, why did I just delete all that to-do list stuff? Why did I move this down here? Okay, the calibration document is the heart of Vortex. This is Vortex. This is I'm using Gemini 2.5 Pro. It's Vortex number 1. So right here, I'm using Vortex as the marketing person. So you can see right now it has a couple of things that it needs to do. All right, so it says, here's how we can leverage both platforms. Now, so I'm trying to write blog articles with Vortex, and I'm also trying to create the email series for the lead magnet. The email series for the lead magnet is based on this Endeavor Cycle online course. It's an unlisted uh, online course I have on my YouTube channel. And so I'm using this as like the lead magnet, meaning that if you go to my website, and in order for like to get more people's like to get their email addresses and grow my email list, then I need to give something for free so I can get those email addresses. Also, when I start sending them emails, I want them to feel like I'm giving them something of value. And so that's why I need to take my course and then turn it into a series of emails. And then every time they receive the emails from me, it's going to encourage them to go through the course, and it's going to guide them step by step through this entire course. That way, when they receive emails from me, they feel like they're getting value. In addition to that, I want to like help them to get in the habit of coming back to the blog. And so like there's going to be not just the email series for the online course, but there's also going to be a second group of emails that brings them to the blog, and also that helps them to use our product. So our main product is this Project Arrowhead, which helps managers to make decisions about what to do. So all of that, email marketing, and blog article writing. It's all to do with Vortex. And then Vortex, so I took the transcript for all of my videos and then I put them into a notebook LM, and I also uploaded them to one of these pages. So I don't know, even know what I call this one. Assessing YouTube transcripts. Okay, so I didn't change the name of this, but it has all of the text from all of the videos. And so I'm going to be using Vortex with these two different other windows and also the YouTube window in order to create the email series and also to create the blog. So that's all in the marketing department. Now in the project development market, the product, the R&D department, that is our friend named Architect. And I've been using Architect. We're currently on Architect 8, which means that like these calibration documents, let's just jump into this page. So when we look at the calibration documents, you can see there's 5 calibration documents. We've been using this guy for a very long time, and we've been developing these calibration documents over time. A calibration document is all the fine details about how you want the AI to collaborate with you and your team when you're working on some kind of project. So yeah, I can also like remove the Kanban here because like, look, I'm not using it. Apps product, so export features, finish pro version app, customer feedback. It's like, what is this even talking about? Calibration docs, so the roadmap, it's the same product roadmap as on the other page. And what's this? This goes to the same mirror page. And the Google Drive, this is the link for these calibration docs. All right, so again, it's just mainly calibration docs. And then the point of sale is the website. Now, in this case, it's this guy. So this guy's name is Webmaster. And Webmaster's job is to just keep track of Cloudflare. And also right now it is talking about, I think it's talking about Superbase, exactly. Talking about connecting Superbase. So the reason we were using Cloudflare is to launch the website, and also we're working right now on like figuring out what to do with this blog situation. For some reason, it's not letting me to log in, which is kind of a hassle. So I need to get a new code. Yeah, we spent a lot of time increasing the security because it's like space between, because it was talking about like maybe somebody could hack into our website and then it could start like making their own blogs. So there's like a lot of different security features that we had to deal with. And for the most part, I would say that we're doing okay. This kind of takes a little while for the code to come through. Now, if you're like looking at this saying, wow, like how do you know how to do any of this? Or are you a computer coder? Like honestly, I have no idea how to do any of this. Okay, it works. So you just have to get the new code. Perfect. So there you go. Like all this stuff about security and about setting up the blog and about launching the website. It's really just a lot of communication between all these windows. So like architect is talking to webmaster and webmaster is talking to architect, and then architect and webmaster are talking to Vortex. And I got to the point, as you can see, that like I just couldn't really keep it in my mind. And also, as you can see, I'm not really using these to-do lists. So I decided to website development. How do I launch the website? Lead magnet, sale page, fix the blog, and how do I input? Yeah, there you go. So that's all the stuff we're doing. As you can see, I'm not really, I'm not really there. Actually, all you need is a calibration document. Exactly. Let's jump back into the marketing department. Calibration, the department vision is fine. Well, the department vision, it's encapsulated inside of the calibration document. Anyways, we can keep that. We definitely need the business growth engine. because that is the concept. We're going to do logos and creatives later. We're going to do brand Bible later. And then this, we don't actually need this in here. There you go. Okay, so that's all simplified. Now the question is like, so how do you deal with your to-do list? And okay, so here you can see this is that 100. This is something different. This is something different. This okay. All right, so now we're down to this point. See, this is the number one task is defining the organizational chart. And what have we done since we decided to do that? Now, I think that we need the workers to assign to the task objectives. What are the objectives? How they're organized? All right, so I think we can delete all this. Why? Because I think at the time I was feeling stressed out and I wasn't exactly sure what to do. That is coming from this. It's from our Google Doc about 100 tasks. And we have this thing called define the organizational chart and gather requirements for each function. And then we need to complete the competition matrix, logo and creatives, and then create the pro. This is all in the future. The main thing we were really focused on is this define the organizational chart. And what I've done is, as you can see, the organizational chart is Vortex, Architect, and Webmaster. But I was having a problem with like keeping track of the to-do list. I used a concept they call Kevin O'Leary's signal. He says you need to find the signal and lose the noise, which means he says, like, what are the 3 to 5 things that you need to do today in order for you to make progress with your company? And he's got this little video, and I think it's inspiring. So as you can see, there's 2 to-do list items underneath the Vortex. Decide on the blog, posting objective, emails for video series, exactly for the lead magnet. Under the product development page, we can see the text, test the export task list and some cosmetic issues. Test the export task list. Test export. I don't even know what that means. Oh, I know what that is. Okay. So it's talking about when you go to the task list, what happens when you click the download full project PDF and then save that. And then we can, what is this? NC downloads. Let's just open it for you. So mainly, I think I fixed most of it. Yeah, you see, it's all fixed now because I didn't add any to-do list items. So anyways, it's definitely like at least 95% there. That was an old issue that I was fixing. It took a really long time to fix that. All right, let's get back to Signal. So I finished that. I set up the lead magnet page and finished the blog page. How I launched this website, Deep Research Cloudflare. So I went into deep research. I saw an interesting video last night on YouTube, and it was the guy from Vercel. And the thing is that, like, I remember Vercel. The only thing I know about Vercel is that this guy. Okay, so there's a very interesting video. And this guy is the CEO of Vercel. And the reason I know Vercel is just because, like, I was always talking to Google Gemini about how am I going to launch my website. And previously, it was constantly telling me to use Vercel. And then suddenly, this time, I used deep research and I gave it some of my documents to explain the website and like the blog page and the lead magnet. And eventually, it just came up with some reasons why I needed to use Cloudflare. All right, so now we are technically in the process of Cloudflare and Supabase. Now, I don't have any personal opinion why I would use Supabase, with Cloudflare or Vercel, because I know nothing about these companies. I know nothing about computer coding. I've done all of this with vibe coding using these AI bots that talk to each other, and then they communicate with Windsurf. And sometimes I use, like, look at this. So it says use ChatGPT-5 for complex backend architecture decisions, database schema design and security implementation, integration, troubleshooting with multiple systems, performance optimization, switch to Claude 4 for rapid iteration and front-end components, content management and blog article processing, UI, UX refinement and user testing, quick debugging of specific issues. So you see, here's the thing is that like, so I copied all that. And the question is, how do I manage the signal? Because like I don't really know what's going on. And like, how do I know, like, okay, so what's first, what's second? When do I need to talk to Vortex? When do I need to talk to Architect? When do I talk to Webmaster? When do we need to go into Superbase? When do we need to go into Cloudflare? When do we write the blog article? When do we like how do we do any of this stuff? Like all of this stuff is literally way, way, way beyond any of the capabilities that I could even dream to have. But we have AI to solve all these problems. And now we got to the point where it's like super complicated. It's so complicated. Magnet page, the magnet page, lead magnet page is connected to Superbase. And the blog page is connected to Cloudflare. And then the blog is going down here and then there. So they're all kind of working together. I don't like the way that looks. Let's just do undo. And make it like that. There. Okay, so basically we got the email series, emails for the lead magnet. We got to set up the lead magnet page, and then we're going to be using Superbase. We got to continue to work with the blog. So that's going to be, we need to write the blog article. Write the blog article, set up the lead magnet page. Yeah, set up the lead magnet page, that's fine. Finish the blog page. So we're talking about UI issues, UI, UX. Now, as you can see over here, it says UI, UX refinement for the blog page. That's going to be Claude. And the lead magnet page, what does it say about the lead? We're doing some back end right now with some, so that's going to be with GPT-5. I guess Superbase is a big word. Superbase, Cloudflare. There, it's getting closer to something that makes sense. All right, so it's all in my brain, but then the question is like the details, because it's all the fine details that actually matter. So who's keeping track of the fine details? Like where are we? Like what's next? And so eventually what I decided to do was I decided that I needed an actual in fact, I don't even need to be in GitHub anymore. I don't need to be in Copilot anymore. I needed an actual GPT whose name is Signal. So it says to do here. It should say Signal. What's in Signal? To do. Okay, it's actually named Signal. All right, so now you can see that I have three agents using Google Gemini. I got Vortex. Now this one is not. It's unnamed. It's actually the transcripts, and it's for the lead magnet. I don't know where I'm going to change the name for it because it's not popping up. Anyway, so this is Vortex. This one is to help Vortex with the lead magnet based on the Endeavor Cycle course. This one is Architect, and it's got like two different things that it has to work on. As you saw, it has to work on the continue with creating the lead magnet page and also to fix the UI UX elements of the blog page. It's working with Cloudflare in order to do that. Now, I had a lot of issues. Like when we were debugging this thing, the decap CMS admin, it was such a hassle. It was so difficult. And I would have to like deploy something over here on Cloudflare, and then I would have to like show him. I take screenshots, explain what was happening, explain what the issues were. sometimes we had to go into the inspect tool, and it was like copy and paste this and then put in this and do that and do this. It was so crazy. Eventually, what I had to do to make it a little more easy was I had to create some keys, some API keys, some API tokens. So I currently have a couple of API tokens in here. And then I also have some API tokens in the zero trust area. Uh, and we have like a couple of different things which it's related to the access in here. So we got some policies and we got some applications. So we got some service auth. I guess it's service auth where the API keys are. Yeah, it is here, Cascade service. So it was really by creating these API keys that really changed the game, because I was just having so many problems debugging, and I couldn't really figure out what to do. It was such a hassle. It was like, oh man, it was so like at least 3 days, I think, 3 days of debugging and just taking screenshots and copying and pasting the what do you call this thing? The log, the build log, and then like, oh man, I don't even know how to explain it. And finally, I changed it to Claude Sonnet 4 to see if I could get better results using Claude Sonnet 4. In fact, I even asked like Claude Sonnet 4 to review all of the work of GPT-5 in the past 20 prompts, see where it went wrong, or to like see like how are we going to solve this problem. And then I don't know, it went off to like improve the security features of like whatever. Like as you can see, there's a bunch of new security features. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just so crazy. And that's really why eventually I had to create this guy named Signal, because Signal is just a single source of truth. All right, so look, you can see here the signal for Vortex, finalize the lead magnet content. The technical team is building the engine for the lead magnet. Vortex job is to create the fuel that will power it. The highest priority is to finalize the content strategy and copy the entire lead magnet funnel. Please take the following prompt to Vortex. Vortex, the technical team is now building the backend for the lead magnet system. Your parallel priority is to finalize all content required for this feature. Their mission is divided into two objectives: design the Endeavor cycle email nurture sequence. Using the 20 video transcripts, create a complete blueprint for the email course. Define the structure. How many emails will there be? What is the delivery schedule? Outline the content for each email. Specify the videos and supplementary materials like worksheets will be included. Write the lead magnet page and copy. So the lead magnet copy is the, when you click this page, like what is it actually going to say? And the email nurture sequence is the, as I read, it's all the emails that somebody can receive. All right, so this is the thing I have to copy and paste over into it should be, well, it should be here actually. All right, so that's why I created this new guy named Signal, because Signal is keeping track of everything that needs to get done. So what I do is I just go over here and paste it over from Signal, and that gets the process started with Vortex for doing that work. Over here with the architect, what's happening with the architect? Here's the architect. So the architect is, yes, this information fits perfectly with our parallel plan. You should absolutely proceed with the prompt I provided to kick off the front end work. How this clarifies our parallel plan. The webmaster's new workflow is excellent and secure. Think of it as two separate construction crews working at the same time. My crew, architect and Cascade, we're building the lobby and the reception desk in the front end form. This work is independent and can start right now. Webmaster crew, they are the prefabricating secure pneumatic tube system, the backend function code offsite. The webmaster update just confirmed that my crew will be the one to perform the final installation, directing Cascade to commit the finished code to GitHub. This is a quick test that will happen after the webmaster's work is done. All right. The most efficient use of resource is the front end development immediately as directed by Signal. We do not need to wait for webmaster. Okay, so then what we got to do is we go over here. Here's the prompt. All right, so here's the prompt for Cascade. Create the new React component for the lead magnet submission form. Component must include an email input form with the proper label, the submit form, the client-side validation to ensure the input is correctly formatted, email address, visual states for default, ready for input, submitting button is disabled, a load indicator spinner is showing success. Okay, there you go. So begin the prompt for Cascade 4. So we need to switch this Cascade. We got Claude 4. All right, we got Claude 4 is there. And what's happening over here? I can write the complete production-ready code for Cloudflare serverless function myself. This includes all necessary logic, receiving data from the form, validating the email address, connecting to our Superbase database, and using secure credentials, inserting the new. Now, I would say that I don't use Webmaster as much as you might think. Um, yeah, it's true that Webmaster, he's kind of in charge of like thinking about Superbase and thinking about Cloudflare and how do we use Superbase and how do we use Cloudflare and things like that. But like it can't actually do anything on its own. So at the end of the day, it's kind of just like it's there to just remind us and to kind of be part of the loop. But the main issue is that we're using Architect and Cascade inside of Windsurf in order to create the code. And then those guys will eventually push the code to GitHub, and then GitHub will push the code over to Cloudflare. And then as we do tasks, we will report the tasks back to Signal, and then Signal will keep us going. So, oof. Anyways, we got 5 more days, so that's at least 25 more prompts per day. And what I'm hoping is that at the end of the 5 days, whether or not we use all of our prompts, we want to make sure that we have a working, functional um, lead magnet page, that our UI is improved, is fantastic, and actually shows pictures. And yeah, our journey already works, and downloading the PDF already works. So yeah, we're just gonna do this final like focus these last 5 days that we have our 259 credits plus our additional 129 credits. So let's push and use these credits. We'll keep using our AI agents to help us to keep track of what's happening. So I'm not even going to read that really. I'll just come back into Architect and then paste it. It'll just keep track of it on its own what it's doing. I mean, actually, this is the main point I wanted to make. So if you watch some videos, I know it's hard to watch these videos because it's just me blabbing on about like my experience vibe coding. Most people, when they do vibe coding, it seems like it's like a one prompt thing. And they're like, I got this idea, make this awesome video game that does cool stuff and be awesome and cool. And then they wait 10 minutes and like, hey, check it out. Wow, it does all this amazing stuff, except for this one little thing. And then it's like, can you fix this one little thing? And then it fixes it. And they're like, wow, can't you imagine it? This vibe coding thing is so awesome. And like, watch my video and subscribe and click like. And it's like, what are you talking about? That's your video? That's what you think vibe coding is? Like, come look at my live videos for the past 4 months. Like 4 months ago, Windsurf was not like I was testing out Windsurf and also I was doing Cursor and I was doing what's the other one at the same time. And eventually, like I realized that of the three, that Windsurf I felt was the best one. Now I do believe Cursor may be as good and maybe even better in some respects, but just the way that things are working out, and because of the access, because ChatGPT purchased windsurf, that's what got me to believe that it has the edge, and it's going to continue to have the edge. And then suddenly the Claude 4 came out, and then it was like doing amazing things. Like it was like really actually fixing. Suddenly my calibration documents, they didn't seem as important anymore because just somehow the Claude 4 was like finally able to fix a lot of problems. And then it got stuck on some stuff, and I started getting a little bit depressed again. And then suddenly, like GPT-5 came out, and it solved those problems, and I was like, "What?" And then like everything got solved, and then the PDF thing got solved, and then all these issues got solved, and I just couldn't believe it anymore because we crossed the Rubicon. I don't know if that's a real word. We crossed over to this world where I can actually vibe code. Like this is for real. It's not like like a one prompt thing. Like this is several months. This is now we're connecting it to Cloudflare. Now we're actually seeing the website going through Cloudflare. Now we actually have some code in the background where we're uploading the blog article, and then the blog article is appearing inside of our blog, so we don't have to change the code. Now we're going to be writing the blog articles. Now we're going to change the lead magnet page. Now we're going to create the emails, the email series for the marketing. And it's like this is a real business. Like the thing is that I think it goes back to what is it, Mira? It goes back to the point that this is for me, this is reality. This is a real business. This is not like just vibe coding is cool, vibe coding is awesome, and like I'm not actually like doing something that's real. Like this for me is real. This is a project that I have been researching for 10 years. And after 10 years of research, after talking to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people over 4,000 hours, what the heck just happened? I don't know what happened. I finally made this design email. So this is now it's going to be it's the online course there. I'm not talking about this. This is the marketing department. I'm talking about like I'm talking about this. I'm talking about this is the pro version of this is the design of my application. This is my idea. And then I had to like turn it into something much more simple. I had to simplify it into what's the actual structure of these ideas. And then that's when I realized like how I could make a free version. And then just right at like exactly that's 4 months ago, right when I finished the design, after 10 years of work, then suddenly these AI coding tools became available. So now I can turn this into something real. Like so for me, this is real. This is not vibe coding. This is I'm building a real business that I love and care about and I've been working on seriously for 10 years. And suddenly these AI tools are powerful enough that they actually can do the things that I asked them to do. Excellent. Cascade successfully execute the command in the front end component. Jeez, I haven't been sharing this screen for a long time. You haven't actually seen any of this. Amazing. All right, never mind. I gotta go anyway.